Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Good evening.
Also with me is your Lord of Pennies. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello.
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's just what popped in my head when I started speaking. Guys, we need to discuss something real fast. The censorship going on in chat, not us. That is entirely Google. It's something they apparently implemented last night when they broke everything. So that's not us. We apologize for it. If you get deleted, try to think of better ways to say things. Scribe, Satsu, how are you guys tonight? Scribbles, how you doing?
Well, I'm still alive.
Yeah, we had everybody worried about you. Stalker Man back?
No, though I was very, very vigilant all the way to work today. So no, Stalker Man was not back. However, I was almost hit by a car because the driver was being inattentive in the dark. And as it's another one of the situations where I was in the middle of the crosswalk. This idiot decides to turn without stopping, and I saw him coming, so I slowed my pace. If I had not, he would have nailed me. He stopped after the point at which he would have completely run me over, and looked back out his window and said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." And I said, "You could have been a lot sorrier. Pay attention next time." And I just walked on by.
Good. Maybe it's a wake-up call.
Yeah. Well, okay. Given the time of day and his attention span, probably it was literally so. Other than that, my day was uneventful, let's say.
Satsu, how you doing over there?
I am trying to protect myself at the current moment. Although with this new censorship, YouTube, I have to thank you. I feel much safer now. But there is a squishy trying to rape me at the current moment, and I'm trying to really
over at Satsu's house, it's like an episode of Pepe Le Pew right now. with Squishy being Pepe and Satsu being that poor cat that got the paint on her back. Yeah. Type 1 in chat if you think Satsu should get Squishy pregnant tonight. Yes. There we go.
Type 2 if it should happen on stream.
Yeah. There you go.
Or during stream, not on camera, but you know what I mean.
I'll put that on camera, man.
You think the Google moderators will be here then?
Mm-hmm.
The other look at that, it's lighting up with ones and twos. There we go. Two other things I want to discuss real fast. Oh, by the way, I am sore. I went out today, but I feel good because I actually got out of the fucking house.
Yay.
Guys, if you want to donate to me tonight, I would rather you guys take time and find a charity that is for the relief efforts for Hurricane Michael.
Yeah.
The original Shroom, who's been with us a long time, one of my favorite opponents in our chat, actually, because me and him argue quite often. But he's still a nice guy, still shows up for the streams all the time. He's down there in this shit, and if you can, find one of those charities and donate to them tonight.
Did you find out how to do set up the super chat to go directly to a charity?
They don't have it set up for everybody now.
Okay. All right.
I think I saw that option on my.
I was about to say, I wonder if they changed that last night.
Where would you find that? Is my question.
It's when you set up the stream. If you go to the advanced tab.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick and see if it's there.
It was there on mine for the last.
Check that out.
Because that would be fucking awesome to get that set up. Because if that is there, we'll do that Saturday.
All
right. Anyway, and we are going to have a guest. Blind Press will be with us, but she has two little boys she has to get into. Oh, speaking of there, everybody, I would like to introduce our Lord of Perception. How are you, Blind?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I can't complain. Well, I can. But
I was about to say, if you could, what would you say?
So many things. We'll get to that at fucketry time.
Yay.
For those of you who don't know, Blind has her own channel, and I call her Blind. You said most people call you Press or BP. Some people call you.
it varies. Some people call me blind, some people call me press, some people call me BP, so I don't really care. Whatever you guys feel comfortable with, I don't care.
Thank you, Flair Fritz. No blinds allowed.
Screw you, Fritz.
And that is the proper response to Fritz. For me, it is a little weird to call you blind because you are blind.
Yes.
But that's how that's how I learned your name was, calling you blind. So yeah, I'm calling her by her disability, guys.
Okay. Thanks, Cripple.
Exactly. Just call me Cripple.
Yeah, you guys can call me Black.
Oh, and we do.
Your disability?
According to some.
2018.
What's my secret code name?
Literate.
Literate's a disability?
It is when you're reading CNN stories.
Oh, you're right.
Before we go any further, Blind, do you want to tell people about yourself real quick?
Sure. I was actually going to wait for YouTube time so I don't take up more of your format, but
fuck that.
Okay. As everyone knows, I am totally blind. I do have a YouTube channel where I do streams and I do videos and
streams, y'all. She's blind and does game streams.
Yes, I play Dreamcast every Sunday with Pinkalo, and I do fighting games by sound. So there's not very many games that I can play, but there are some. Soul Calibur is my jam.
Oh,
I love Soul Calibur. Yay!
See, this is what pisses me off. You're blind and you're probably good at Soul Calibur, and I would get my ass whipped.
Yeah,
I suck so bad at fighting games.
My uncle's friends, I used to not be allowed to play with them anymore because they hated getting beaten by someone 5 years younger than them and blind. That really pissed them off. So I wasn't allowed to play Killer Instinct with them or anything like that anymore.
When the blind girl kicks your ass, you got to stop playing. That's just it.
Don't worry. If we ever play Soul Calibur blind, I promise I won't go easy and I'll kick your ass.
Oh, are you sure?
Thank you, Flair Fritz. Play your game with no sound, Scrub 420 and Mastigas, which I'm surprised they didn't censor.
Yeah, me too.
But check out her channel. She also is a frequent guest. Or are you a guest or do you ever host the Minions?
I'm a minion. I'm not a keeper, but I am a minion. So I'm quite often there every Wednesdays with Skep Talk. Sometimes I come on other nights, but I do have kids, so it's hard to do later streams. But I do come on Minions every week, and I do go on Irate Prostate's Irate Monday show as well.
All right. And with that, we are going to let Scribe get on to the news because I'm sure he's getting antsy over there. Scribbles, do we have news?
Yeah, Monkey forgot the intro again.
Oh, God damn it.
Bad Monkey.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys. Seriously, hit the like button, please. I need affirmation. And share our stuff and share everybody's stuff. Anyone you like, anybody that you support, one of the best things you can do for them is share their videos. So please make sure you do that. Scribe, do we have news?
Yes. Now that our top story is taken care of. So you guys like gun attacks at colleges?
Sure.
Which college?
In Crimea.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, no.
It disappeared from the front page pretty quick today, but there was a gun attack at Kerch College in Crimea, kills 19.
God damn.
At least 19 people have been killed and dozens more wounded in a shooting at a college in Russian-annexed Crimea. An 18-year-old student ran through the Kerch Technical College, firing at fellow pupils before killing himself. Witnesses have also spoken of at least one blast caused by an unidentified explosive. The motive is unclear. Russia seized Crimea from Ukraine in 2014 in a move condemned by many Western powers. The annexation marked the start of a simmering conflict involving Russian-backed rebels in eastern Ukraine that goes on to this day. There are contradictory reports about the chronology of the attack. The alleged perpetrator, named Vladislav Rasilikov, I might have actually said that right, is said to have run from room to room as he fired, starting in the area near the canteen. He then shot himself dead. Photos later emerged in Russian media purportedly showing the body of the attacker in the college library. The investigative committee said initial examination suggested all the victims died of gunshot wounds, but some reports speak of shrapnel injuries. At the same time, Russia's law enforcement sources are quoted by local media as saying that the attacker had detonated a bomb in the canteen before starting shooting. This sounds like somebody who has taken their cues from Columbine after fashion.
Is there any word on how long it's going to take David Hogg to get there on his bike?
Oh, monkey.
Too soon?
You think, maybe? It happened this morning. I don't know, a little bit. Anyway, so that's a thing that happened. Even if they find a motive, it's not going to
bring anyone back.
Well, the thing I say about these kind of shootings is the only reason to investigate the person's motive is if they were part of something larger or if there were any co-conspirators that also need to be investigated. Other than that, I couldn't care less about their reasons for it. They're all idiots. Yeah.
Real quick, the original Shroom is in chat there. How you doing, bud? You said something on Twitter today that I got to address. He said that he needs to bring some normalcy back to his life and wanting to listen to our show as part of that. And seriously, dude, I made a joke about it, but that actually hit me in the feels, man. I'm glad if we can bring any sense of normalcy back to what you're going through down there, I'm happy to be a part of that.
Oh, and on a slightly related note, I just wanted to say that after the catastrophe that was the YouTube outage last night, and so many of our viewers kind of were cut off from watching the show, the view numbers that I have on that stream as of this morning showed that almost everybody who was lost of the whole thing came back to watch the rest. So
you guys are fucking awesome.
I know. Really I was just like, I was like, God, why is that number so high? Oh, they all came back to watch it again because they couldn't see the whole thing. So thanks, guys. I don't know what to tell you, but that's great.
Satsu, blink twice if you need help.
I'm okay.
All right. Sounded a lot of breath over there.
She seemed to have crawled back into her nest for now.
Okay.
Jesus. So do you guys like testing international tensions with China?
Always.
Sure.
Fuck them. Go ahead.
Well,
what are we doing?
The U.S. flies B-52s Love Shack near contested islands amid China tensions. 2 U.S. B-52 bombers flew near contested islands in the South China Sea Tuesday, according to a statement from Pacific Air Forces. The 2 B-52H Stratofortress bombers, which are based in Guam, quote, participated in a routine training mission in the vicinity of the South China Sea. The flight was part of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command's, quote, continuous bomber presence operations, unquote, which have been ongoing since March of 2004. The Pentagon would not confirm which islands the B-52s flew by, but recent tensions have focused on the Spratly Islands. Let's see. Pacific Air Forces said Tuesday's mission, quote, is consistent with international law and United States' long-standing commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Chinese, quote, have successfully militarized some of these outposts and their behaviors become more assertive, and we're trying to have an appropriate response. U.S. Assistant Secretary of Defense for Asian and Pacific Security Affairs Randall Shriver told reporters traveling in the region with the Security of Defense, James Mattis.
Holy fuck. Any commas anywhere in that sentence?
Not during that entire title and
Jesus.
Everything else. Let's see. News of the bomber flight comes as top Pentagon officials said that China's defense minister has agreed to meet with Mattis, a meeting that was previously canceled over a dispute involving U.S. sanctions against Beijing. A Chinese destroyer recently sailed within 45 yards of the USS Decatur, forcing the American warship to maneuver to avoid a collision while it was sailing near the disputed Spratly Islands. I don't like this constant poking the bear kind of deal.
Yeah.
We've been doing that with flyovers though for a long time.
Yeah, there seems to be more. Maybe I just haven't seen the stories in the past, but we see a lot more of these lately.
Well, we have a lot more tension with them now too. I mean, usually like we'll fly over areas like around Hong Kong and stuff, and they're like, "Don't do that," and we're still in international waters or whatever. But we don't usually have the trade animosity we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been played up a bit more in the news. Before we move on, we have a couple of songs to do. And Scribbles, I'd actually ask you to do the first one on your own.
I think I know which one this is for, but you go ahead.
This is the first one. Oh, God, I shut my Twitter down. God damn it.
Watch your language. Google's watching.
Well, they can't censor me. Fuck off.
Oh!
Nice.
Let's see. I gotta find it. Oh, I responded, didn't I? No, I didn't. God damn it. I didn't retweet it. If I see, that's why I retweet stuff, guys, so I can find it quick and easy.
Monkey is very organized.
Usually. Okay. This one goes out to the Empty Shroom, and it is literally his birthday today. It's the original Shroom's grandson who was born today.
Aww.
So, Scribbles, would you sing him happy birthday?
I assume you're asking me to do it alone because you want me to do it in my appropriate singing voice.
Indeed. This is a newborn, and let's give him a nice welcome into the world instead of a monkey song.
I had to do that. Bugs Bunny used to do that before he started singing.
Yeah.
I hope you weren't gargling Dr. Pepper.
No. Water.
That would have been interesting.
I had my Dr. Pepper earlier.
That's
All
nice.
right. Well, the child is the Empty Shroom.
Yes.
Seems
just Empty Shroom.
Empty Shroom. All right. Well, little one, at whatever point in your life that you end up hearing this and comprehending it, this one's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Empty Shroom. Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
Very well done. And happy birthday, Empty Shroom. Welcome to the world. I hope you like it. Now, we have one more to do. I was actually supposed to do this yesterday, but the birthday is today. It is to Scientology.
Nice name.
Who tells us he lives in India and can't watch the show live, but always watches the replays. And so Scientology, I know you're not listening, but you're going to hear this later. So this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday, Scientology.
I was not ready.
Happy birthday to you.
Scribe's neighbors are gonna call the fucking police.
Scientology, happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. And thank you so much for watching. And
Scribe's wounded moose impression.
Exactly. Well, nothing says happy birthday like a wounded donkey.
indeed, that was fucking awesome. That may be my favorite one ever.
Angela says, and there went the moment.
Well, you see, I had to somehow balance out the universe for singing beautifully in one thing, and so.
Indeed.
Jesus.
Happy birthday, guys. I hope you have good ones.
Well then, from singing to How about someone else quitting from the White House?
Sure,
Again?
who quit now?
Don McGahn is out as
Oh.
White House counsel. And not out like he's coming out of the closet. He's out of a job. Sources say, that's the first two words of this article. Sources say Wednesday was White House counsel Don McGahn's final day at the White House. A White House official and a source with knowledge of the matter confirmed his departure to CNN. Someday I want to be so cool as to just have a moniker like a source familiar with the matter.
Yeah.
That's how I will start describing. Just say that's your pronoun. It is pronoun.
Oh, there you go. That's right. It's pronoun day. McGahn has been planning to leave the White House, but a source is this now? Is this source different from the two sources you previously mentioned, CNN? Because I'm getting confused. Because first off, we have a White House official, we have a source with knowledge of the matter, and now we just have a source.
So real quick, is this new? Because I don't know. I've been reading stories with you guys for a while, but it seems like more and more this is becoming like a regular thing, and it didn't seem like all stories had this type of writing format before.
Oh no, it's been this way for a while.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
it? Okay.
yeah.
Maybe
by
I
the
just
way,
haven't been paying attention.
by the way, it took 4 people to write this article.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, they had so many sources to talk to.
I guess. But a source told CNN his departure was expedited after President Donald Trump said Tuesday he had selected Patrick Cipollone. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Cipollone as his successor. A source said McGahn had a 20-minute farewell meeting with Trump Wednesday. The source called it a positive departure, but both Trump and McGahn recognized it was time for him to go. The source said McGahn didn't want to stay on, and the president didn't want him to stay. The source, wait, what?
Source.
Okay, I'm gonna read this out. The source, comma, quotation mark. Typically, you would have the incumbent stay until the successor was ready to take his place, but in this case, McGahn was tired of the president, and the president was tired of McGahn. Unquote. How about the source said instead of the source, comma?
Shouldn't there be a word there somewhere?
Well, this is CNN. McGahn leaves his post after serving as White House counsel through the tumultuous first 18 months of Trump's presidency, steering the White House's handling of the Russia investigation and responding internally to the president's mercurial moods as the investigation ballooned. His departure is another one from the handful of top aides who worked on the Trump campaign before joining the White House. McGahn served as the Trump campaign's top attorney throughout the GOP primary and 2016 presidential election, becoming a trusted advisor to the future president in the process. But McGahn immediately faced controversy in his earliest days at the White House, beginning with acting Attorney General Sally Yates warning to McGahn that then National Security Advisor Michael Flynn could be blackmailed by Russia and that he had likely lied to Vice President Mike Pence. That was all one sentence with no punctuation in the middle. God damn, guys. Flynn was forced to resign after reports revealed Yates' warning to McGahn about Flynn's conduct. Yada, yada, yada for several paragraphs, and yeah, he quit. So there you go.
So there's a lawyer gone. There'll be a new one. Thank you, Dark Shade. Eggy weggy doodah, indeed.
And so finally, kind of tangentially law enforcement. Well, no, actually, this is more law enforcement than the last one. This is a story that actually started a couple of days ago now, but I hadn't brought it up because it was still in process. Mm-hmm. But now it's become more serious, if it could become more so. The FBI asks for the public's help in finding a missing girl whose parents were found dead.
Oh, yeah.
2 days have passed since Jamie Kloss's parents were found dead and the 13-year-old girl vanished. But as investigators scramble to find her, few answers have emerged. More than 400 tips have poured in since Jamie disappeared from her Wisconsin home on Monday. But the FBI is pleading for more help in finding the girl who is the subject of an Amber Alert. And when I saw this, my first thought was either somebody killed her parents in order to get to her, or she killed her parents.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Investigators are trying to find out not only where Jamie is, but also what led to her parents' deaths in the small city of Barron. Kloss's parents were fatally shot, and their deaths have been ruled homicides. No gun was found at the scene. Quote, I'll be honest, I'm struggling with this because I don't have some of the answers that I want to give you, Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald said Wednesday. Ciara Kloss said Ciara Kloss said she wishes, that's almost like Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sierra Kloss says she wishes she were the one endangered, not her cousin Jamie. Ciara wrote an open letter to Jamie on Facebook. Quote, I'm going through our family pictures, worrying sick about you. Wish we could trade places just to get you home and out of harm's way. Authorities identified Jamie's parents as James Kloss, 56, and Denise Kloss, 46. In her post, Ciara reminded her cousin that her family, including her slain parents, love her dearly. Quote, Grandpa Jim Kloss, your mama bear Denise Kloss, and your very own knight in shining armor, your daddy-o Jim J.R. Kloss, love all of you, Ciara Kloss wrote. Let's see. Trying to see if they have any information. Let's see. Sheriff Fitzgerald said authorities believe Jamie was in the home at the time of the fatal shootings. The sheriff said authorities can't say whether the Klosses were targeted. During a 911 call on Monday, the dispatcher heard a disturbance in the background, but no one spoke directly to the dispatcher. Fitzgerald said deputies arrived less than 4 minutes after the 911 call. No vehicles were found in the immediate area. Authorities said they have determined whose cell phone the call came from, but declined to identify the owner. On Headline News' Crime and Justice Wednesday night, Fitzgerald told host Ashley Banfield that deputies had recovered the cell phone. Fitzgerald said additional agencies, including the FBI, are involved. Quote, they are the experts in breaking down 911 tapes, looking at our phones, and taking care of all evidence in that manner, he said. Jamie Kloss is 5 feet tall, weighs 100 pounds, and has green eyes and blonde or strawberry hair. Anyone with information can call the tip line at 1-855-744-3879. So yeah, I hope that has a happy ending in some fashion, but I'm concerned. Let's say.
Yeah, probably not. Sadly,
probably not.
There's no good outcome to that. I mean,
No.
No, not really. I mean, unless she's found alive and unharmed, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those are all the stories I had pulled up.
I have one story. It's related to the title there. Because while we were talking about the Kavanaugh thing, as it was wrapping up, we're like, what's going to be the next big thing?
Mm-hmm.
And the next big thing right now is that the Caravan from where's it coming from? Honduras has grown to 4,000 people on their way.
Oh boy,
to the U.S.
How are they going to get over the wall at the Mexican border? Because Mexico has a wall on the south border.
There's not a full wall there, depending on where you go through. And the Mexicans generally let these kind of things just kind of wander through their country. But according to documents obtained by NBC, the Mexican federal police have sent 500 more people down to their southern border to try to stop these guys and turn them back.
500 versus 4th.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll be armed, so they could win if they wanted to, but they'd be shooting women and children because that's what a lot of the Caravan is. There was some evidence that some of these people were being paid to make this trip.
What?
I know, right? It's weird, but yeah. So that's a growing thing, and it's interesting because we're seeing increased immigration or illegal immigrants. The September number was up to 41,400 for the month.
Wow.
Yeah. The month before in August, it was 37,000. So it went up almost 4,000 people, about the number of the Caravan. And I really think this is going to be pushed as a big issue for the election coming up, because they don't have anything else to run on. There's nothing else really going on right now.
Yeah, I hear that they were saying a lot more of them are bringing kids with them this time around because they know that the kids are kind of the key to the loophole. Where it's just like, we only can keep kids for so long. So, you know, when you guys come in or whatever, we'll have to quickly process you. And the easiest thing to do would be to let you in and then let you go, basically, with a bracelet or whatever.
Well, that article, they said, according to numbers they've seen that haven't been released publicly, the number of families and children that are on their own is at like all-time highs for September.
Mm.
So yeah, that's going on. That was the next big thing, guys. We went from 30-year-old attempted rape accusations to a caravan of illegals. That's all I have, guys. With that, that's going to wrap up the news segment, sort of. Because if there's a news article you'd like us to read, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all of your submissions because you're just too goddamn nice and send in too goddamn many. We love you for it, but we just can't get to them all. But we thank you for every one of them. Scribbles,
Yes.
do you have MSS News pulled up?
Yes.
Are there stories there you'd like to talk about?
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and do that?
All right. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. I've seen this all over the place today. This is an editorial, I assume, from The Guardian.
I know what you're about to do.
Making misandry a hate crime will embolden abusive men.
Yeah, making hating men illegal would embolden abusive men.
And this is by Jessica Eaton. I don't know who she is, but I assume she's some kind of author or something. A campaign started by the Labor MP Stella Creasy to consider misogyny as a form of hate crime has resulted in the Law Commission deciding to consider whether misandry should be categorized as a hate crime too. It is the ultimate example of whataboutery when a group of people cries, "But what about X?" to distract attention from any legitimate discussion of why.
What?
Except that X and Y are the exact same thing and equality, right? While misogyny has centuries of research, evidence, statistics, law and legislation, oppression, death, and suffering behind it, misandry is harder to pinpoint. Some people even ask the question, does misandry exist?
Because they're morons.
Well, I think the author should question whether or not misandry exists by asking, why am I fighting against the notion of misandry as a hate crime?
Yeah, why wouldn't you want that to be a hate crime? Even if it was, let's say, this mythical thing that never actually happened, what would be the problem with making it illegal?
Exactly. If it's not a thing that's real and doesn't affect men at all and hard to pin for whatever reason, then what's the issue?
This is not because who's we? I wonder who she's speaking
Crazy
for.
Most likely all women.
This is not because we believe that men are not harmed, that men cannot be abused, or that men cannot be oppressed, but because misandry seems to be thrown around generally at women for some pretty tenuous things that definitely are not hatred or hostility to men.
Kind of like misogyny, huh?
I'm sorry.
Kind of like manspreading.
One of the things that is part of their misogyny thing is wolf whistling.
Yes.
They fucking wolf whistling, and you're talking, oh, fuck off.
This is amazing. When I read the news today, I thought about all the times I have been called a misandrist or accused of misandry. Last year, I was accused of misandry for launching a study in forensic psychology to explore the way women were blamed for rape. I received hundreds of messages over a 3-month period calling me every name men could think of because, as one put it, quote, "You are clearly a man-hating bitch to run this study only about women. What about men?" Unquote. However, in
I said that's a valid question, though.
However, in 2013, I opened the first male mental health center in the UK with my husband. We set up the center after police found the body of my father-in-law, who had died after a long battle with trauma and addiction. Every year I write about the way gender role stereotypes harm men and women, especially when anti-feminine, hyper-masculine gender roles are contributing to the high suicide rates in men and boys who are told to be strong, be emotionless, and to deal with their problems themselves. First off, lady, men are not told to do that. And if you're saying that you open up a male mental health center because you think masculinity is a mental health issue, you might be a misandrist.
Just a bit.
The problem is that you are telling men, if you look, the suicide rates are going up, and if you look at how we're raising boys and men these days, it's not, they're not being told to just internalize, just to walk it off, if you will. They're being told to act like, well, women. And they're being shamed for acting like men. So maybe, just maybe, you should fucking look into that.
Yeah, boys are defective girls.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's all they are. Anyway, there's a little bit more to that, but it goes on a while, and I've got other stories to get to. So,
if I do a monkey in the morning tomorrow, I know what we're going to be covering.
Let's see. Ooh, how about this? This looks science-y. This comes from Captain Brambles. This might be my second favorite thing next to the idea of a moon base. NASA eyes Cloud City airship concept to explore Venus.
I've seen the headline, and are they? Is this supposed to have people on it?
I don't know. I would assume not, given Venus's atmosphere. But NASA is considering a spectacular airship concept for Venus exploration. The Space Agency's Systems Analysis and Concepts Directorate, God, that sounds crazily 1984, has posted potential designs of the High Altitude Venus Operational Concept, or HAVOC, on its website. I love it. The airships have even been compared to a cloud city, like from Star Wars. A similar size to Earth, Venus is our closest planetary neighbor. However, exploring Venus poses a unique set of challenges, according to NASA. Quote, though its internal geology is similar to Earth's, its surface is hot enough to melt lead and is covered with craters, volcanoes, mountains, and lava plains. Additionally, Venus's atmosphere is mainly carbon dioxide and thick clouds of sulfuric acid that cover the entire planet. The quote, the atmosphere traps the small amount of energy from the sun that reaches the surface along with the heat the planet itself releases. This greenhouse effect has made the surface and lower atmosphere of Venus one of the hottest places in the solar system. And when he says hottest, I don't think he means popular.
No.
Because Venus's upper atmosphere has similar pressure, density, gravity, and radiation protection to Earth's surface, NASA is considering an airship-style vehicle for exploring the planet. Quote, a lighter-than-air vehicle could carry either a host of instruments and probes or a habitat, an ascent vehicle for a crew of 2 astronauts to explore Venus for up to a month, it said. Such a mission would require less time to complete than a crewed Mars mission. Ooh. I'm all for
it. Me too. Real quick. Thank you, Darkshade. So it's not misandry that's the problem. It's men being men that are the problem. Yeah. If you read all of the stuff about toxic masculinity and everything, it's men are the problem. And thank you, Terry Diamandis. Have some money for your excellent taste in stream guests. I know, right? Isn't she amazing?
Aww,
for the
thanks,
record,
Terry.
Your laugh really sold the birthday song.
What birthday song?
The one you and me did together. Yes, her laughter just made it perfect. So.
Well, I'm glad, because it was pretty funny.
Okay. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Is this a story I can read, or is this a video? This is a video. Okay. Well, I'll read the headline. If someone can find me is there a link to the actual story? Okay, there is. Sorry. It was a video link, but there was a link in there for the article. Okay. Sorry. Ohio haunted house employees are suspended after allegedly staging a mock rape.
Okay.
Wow.
An Ohio man was forced to participate in a mock rape at a haunted house in Akron, his girlfriend claims. Sarah Lilonic and her boyfriend Ryan Carr were at one of the 6 haunted houses comprising Fright Fest, and although there were signs warning things could get physical, the couple said it went too far. Lilonic, I don't know, said what happened to her boyfriend was inappropriate. Quote, I saw him push my boyfriend down and then push his shoulders back onto the bed, and I said, That's my boyfriend. Please stop. He said, well, he's not your boyfriend anymore. I am going to rape him. Jesus. Carr also said another one of the haunted houses where there was a man telling them they had to lick his nipples to get out. Wait, so
what the fuck kind of haunted house is this?
Yeah, which haunted house did you go to first? The one where you were fake raped, or the one where the guy asked you to lick his nipples? And whatever the answer is, why did you go to another haunted house after that? Jeremy Caudill, the managing partner of Melanie Lake at Kim Tam Park, where Fright Fest takes place, said he is, quote, shocked and appalled, unquote, at the incidents and has suspended several employees in the wake of the allegations. Quote, even a mock rape scene has no place as part of any entertainment, Cahill said. Well, it depends if it's in a movie and it's part of dramatic effect. Anyway. The Fright Fest organization said they will now employ additional security in its haunted houses. Well, wait, it wasn't security. These weren't strangers. These are part of the show.
Yeah. What are you going to do, arrest your own people?
Yeah, I mean, unless somebody came into the like somebody walking into a haunted house and handing you a knife and saying, "Hey, stab your friend," and you do it. Now that might require a security issue, but if these people were part of the show, then you have to sort of police the people who are doing the show.
I've been part of a haunted house thing like this, and they have scenes set up. How did this guy not know that there was a rape scene and a nipple licker in his cast?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they were just doing it like off the,
Well, there wasn't enough
off
supervision.
the cuff rape.
Yeah, they're just like, add some spice to this.
We got the bed
spice
there.
Oh.
What was the bed there for? You know what I mean? There should have been. Thank you, Matt Jack. Hey, Lords of the Night. I love the show. Not married, but I've been with my lovely woman for 8 years. And I'd love if you could sing for us. It will be a surprise for her when I show her tonight. We are Matt and Shaz. Thanks. Sing what, Matt?
Happy anniversary and happy birthday.
Is there a birthday involved, or is you know what? Let's do the anniversary thing. Do we have an anniversary song, or just sing it?
We don't have an anniversary song. It's just the happy birthday song with anniversary instead of birthday. We should probably come up with an actual anniversary song.
If somebody in our chat would like to write us a happy anniversary song, that would be appreciated.
It's your anniversary. Do you miss your balls? Oh, I don't know. First thing that came to my mind. I don't know. There you go. There's your song. No, I'm kidding.
Matt says, yes, please. That. Okay. Matt and Shaz, congratulations on 8 years. Matt, how tall is Shaz?
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just kidding. This one's for you guys. Happy anniversary to you.
Happy anniversary and shit.
Happy anniversary to
the two of you.
Here's to 8 more ballless years.
Happy anniversary,
dear
Matt and Shaz.
How tall is Shaz?
Happy anniversary to you.
Congratulations, guys! 8 years. That's an amazing feat these days. And don't let Satsu give you shit about not having balls. He just got married. His are being used constantly now, whether he likes it or not.
Help me.
Let's do like 2 more stories.
Okay, so this one comes from Frosted Glass, and it's from our friends at Vice. Here we go. The many ways well-intentioned white people are still low-key racist.
Suck my low-key racist nuts.
The subtitle is, in quotations, "You don't sound black."
Satsu, you sound black.
Thanks. That's racist.
You're welcome.
I actually had a blind person say that to me once. Somebody doesn't sound black.
Do blind people even know what colors are?
You know what's funny about that? the fact that they listed that as the first thing that makes low key, otherwise good meaning white people low key racist is the fact that I've heard that I don't sound black enough from black people in my life far more than I've ever had a white person tell me I don't.
Colorism.
Yeah, that's colorism.
Let's see. Navigating between different social circles can be hard, especially when they're made up of folks. The word folks is thrown around a lot lately, and it always sounds kind of pretentious to me. But anyway, made up of folks from different cultural or ethnic backgrounds. And even more so when you're the only person of color in a room and the white woman you've heard greet everyone before you with a pleasant and simple hi or hello drops a "Yo, what up, girl?" on you. Like, why?
Okay, now, to be perfectly honest, I would want to slap the shit out of that person too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Other examples include, but are in no way limited to, you should have a comma there, by the way, being asked by a white person what you think of a new rap album before you've disclosed whether or not you even listen to rap. Okay, and that should be a semicolon, not a comma in this instance, because you're listing concepts, not words. Awkward small talk about Black Panther. Yeah, because only black people saw Black Panther. The $1 billion+ it made was only funded by black people. And being told you have a good skin tone because you aren't too dark.
What people are you meeting?
Yeah, like what kind of friends do you have?
I hear that good skin thing from black people more than I do from white people.
Oh yeah.
Not throwing out random slang to a black person you don't know or greeting them with a cool handshake you just invented seems pretty basic. But you'd be surprised. It happens all the time. Nearly every black person I know has a similar story.
Satsu, I got to ask you, and I'm sorry that you're the black guy on the show, but that's how you were born. How many times has a white dude walked up to you with a handshake he invented?
I don't think it's been enough for me to remember. I mean, I know as opposed to like a regular handshake, they would like dap you up or something, which is, typical. But like, here's the thing. I don't see this as being racist. This is like being more like trying to be relatable to the person who you were talking to. And the reason that I know that is because just like they're saying that white people do this to black people, all the black people I know do this to white people when they meet them. They completely change their demeanor and behavior and start talking to them and asking them about specific things that, generally speaking, only white people would engage in. Like, I remember I was at my friend's house. Me and my friend came over, and this friend was white. And they had offered us something to drink or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, we got Kool-Aid." And they're like, "Oh, shit, white people drink Kool-Aid?" And I'm just like,
wow.
Yeah, just like unapologetically said that shit. And I'm just like, yes, white people drink Kool-Aid.
What I would have said is, have you heard of Jonestown?
And then
damn.
Immediately after that, they said, "Well, I hope y'all put sugar in y'all shit."
Nice.
And I'm just like, this is a common occurrence.
They're different cultures, and even if you live near people, I mean, there's going to be some cultural differences. That when I first moved to Norfolk, Virginia, where I was a minority, y'all, there were things I did not know that black people did that white people don't. Like drink their Kool-Aid sugary sweet, man. The first time a black guy gave me a drink of Kool-Aid, I almost died. I almost got diabetes right there.
Not shocking.
It's not, but it's how you learn about other people, and it's not exclusive to black people. If you have a poor white person who meets rich white people, they're from two different cultures as well. I mean, fuck off with this stuff. Stop trying to drive people apart.
At the very worst, you can call this being presumptuous.
Sure.
And that's it. Like that's probably the furthest I'm willing to go.
Now, if you walk into a black man's house and be like, "Where the watermelon at?" That's racist.
The story has a couple of, then lists a bunch of quote unquote active examples from, I guess, the black people the author knows.
Oh, please, please.
I'll just read a couple because there's several of them. Quote, I worked at a job that sometimes had me greet people at the door. My supervisor once asked me why I wasn't dancing. I responded that I typically don't. He said, quote, I thought all black people danced. Aren't you all born with rhythm?
Satsu taught me that's not true.
Yeah.
It is absolutely false. And I find it hard to believe that a person would just outright say something like that. Well, you know what? That's not necessarily true. If they know you well enough, then I can see somebody saying that jokingly.
We had a manager at Walmart who got in trouble a lot for making. He never made a joke like that, but he would make jokes to people he thought he was more familiar with than he was. So I could see that happening. If this was a manager they talked to many times and they thought they were making it just being silly, I could see that happening.
What's funny though is the person who he probably said that to was like, "Wow, that's awfully offensive." And then in some off-the-cuff remark, probably a week later, there was like, "Oh, look at that white person dancing." They're like, "Damn, white people can't dance."
Because we can't.
But they don't think about that. They're like, "Well, that's not racist. That's just me being observant." If you observe something that we do regularly, it's racist. If we observe something you can't do, then it's just, factual.
Let's see. One more. I grew up in a super white town, so naturally my close friends were white. When I went to college and finally got to be around more black people, one of my white friends from back home said, quote, oh, you must be happy to have new friends that are black. You guys can talk about your hair and stuff.
Okay.
What?
But this is coming from people. Once again, I don't understand how that's a problem when this is coming from people when black people say all the time that white people have no idea what black people have to deal with in regards to their hair.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's been a common thing that black activists talk about all the time, is how the close connection they have with their hair and how important it is to them and how they can't talk to white people about it. So how is that not a valid statement?
And how is that not someone being a good friend saying like, oh, cool, you found people like you that you can be friends with. Isn't that awesome? Like,
yeah, this thing I couldn't provide to you as a friend, some other people can. And he's like, fuck you, white scum. How dare you say that to me?
Hey, Blind, I got to ask you a question. Do you even know what color you are?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I know what my heritage is.
That's what they tell you.
Yeah. A likely story.
You're actually Chinese. They let me break the news to you.
Well, the funny thing is that my mother insists that there is some Asian in her father's side of the family.
Don't get a DNA test with 23andMe.
Well, she insisted that when I got pregnant with my first son because she didn't want to be called Nana, which is a Scottish thing, and we're Scottish. So she decided that then she found out that there was some Asian in her father's family, and she insisted that we get her to be called Lola, because apparently that's what the Filipinos call their grandparents. But I've known Filipino people, and they've never called their grandparents Lola or Lolo. So I don't know what she's talking about.
How do you know they're Filipino?
Of course, that question.
Anyway, I think I'm talked out for a little while.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's move on to some YouTube time. As is tradition, Satsu, what have you been working on?
Not a damn thing. Although I've been doing behind the scenes stuff for my Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Well, that, there might be. Yeah. Well, I'll keep you posted on that.
Scribbles, you do anything today?
I didn't do any video stuff today. I did work some more on the Halloween story.
Oh, okay.
I just about got the first draft done. I went back. I go back and I've been revising and adding some stuff in as I go. It looks like, it's going to end up being about 2.5, maybe 3 pages. So not a whole lot of, overall content in that sense, but I have so jam-packed it in trying to sort of say as much as possible without actually using a whole bunch of words to make life really difficult for SDA and Weibo.
What night? Do you know what night they're going to be reading that?
That's it'll be on Wednesday, October 31st, so Halloween night.
Alrighty. Blind, what have you been working on?
I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get a stream in at all today because I last night got a really bad migraine and it was sticking around this morning.
Yep.
Oh,
So I ended up sleeping. I had to put a tweet out saying I couldn't stream, and I slept for like 3.5 hours, and then I woke up and I felt a hell of a lot better. So I did a stream at 2:00 instead of at 10:00 today. And I talked about how weed is now legal in Canada.
oh, that's right. It's legal.
That was today. Yep. And then I also did, I actually touched on the misandry stuff, but it was a different article. It was just going through what the Law Commission was doing. And it looks like it's a lot of like words. Like he said, she said things that hurt my feelings, or he said things that like the wording is very vague, which is as to be expected with laws. But the UK is just, I don't know what the hell they're doing. But and then I talked about there was a story that was also from Canada that one of our most infamous serial killers was trying to get parole. The update is that he's been denied parole, and I hope that every time he asks that he gets denied.
Which serial killer?
Paul Bernardo.
Oh, Bernardo. Oh, yeah, the Carla Hamonka.
Yep.
Yep.
He had the nerve to ask for parole.
Well, you know,
that didn't go very long.
Yeah, psychopaths usually have a lot of nerve.
Yeah.
What you guys we haven't talked about yet, and I do want to bring this up. Blind Press is an amazing Star Trek nerd.
I love Star Trek.
I know you, and I was thinking about something before the show. I'm like, you've never actually seen the show.
Nope.
And you probably know more lore because we got to talk about this when I was on her channel for a stream last week.
Yeah, last Friday.
You know far more than I do, and I consider myself a pretty decent Star Trek nerd. How did you come to like Star Trek so much?
Well, I always I was an only child for the first 9 years of my life, so I basically and my mom didn't really let me watch very many kid shows. So whenever Next Generation was on, I would watch it with her. And what really drew me into Next Generation was the fact that there was a totally blind engineer who was the chief engineer of the flagship of Starfleet. Mm-hmm. And that was like super cool to me.
That is just awesome to me that you've never actually seen it though, and you love it so much. That's
I know, and it sucks because there's not they're not in described video at all. There's a few done by the British television company Sky. Mm-hmm. But in America or North America, there aren't any that are described. So unless you know somebody who's got the files of the British described Star Trek episodes, and that's not all of them, they're very sporadic. You basically have to pay attention to the dialogue and or have people who are willing to describe things to you. And I was lucky enough that Pinkalo is a great describer. So whenever I was watching reruns of Star Trek that I had seen like tons and tons of times as a kid, he would be telling me things that I never knew. And it would be like watching them all over again.
That's so cool.
So it's like now I have a pretty much a basic picture of what's going on, like in TNG and Voyager especially, because that's what we would watch together a lot. He's not much of a DS9 guy, so I have to piece that stuff together myself, but there's a lot of dialogue in DS9. So it's not hard. And the original series, he's like, I can't deal with the campiness. I just can't.
Yeah, they look like modern day Doctor Who's episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Blind Press here is married to Pinkalo, long-time viewers of our channel and our stream, and love you both for that. And he's a very nice guy for describing those things too. Dude, have you ever felt the toys to like feel what the ships and stuff feel like?
Yeah, a friend of mine actually had them had some miniature models of some of the classes of ships, and so I would like pour over them.
That
it
is
was really
awesome.
cool.
And in my final question, you have 2 kids.
Yep.
How old are they?
Alex is 4, Logan is 18 months.
4 and 18. How in the hell do you deal with 2? Because they're both boys, right?
Yep.
How's that working out for you?
It's fun. It's fun. And because they don't know any different, they've just adapted to their mom not being able to see. So they just they know to put stuff in my hands when I'm asking when I say, "Can I see what you've got?" They put it in my hand. Like even the little one is starting to put stuff in my hands when I ask him to. Or there's a few adaptations. I've put Pinkalo has put sewn little bells on our kids' running shoes, so I don't lose them at the park or something like that. And then when I had my second baby, baby carriers were saved. They saved my life because I could push the older one in the stroller and wear the little one.
Oh yeah, the little backpack things or the front pack. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, I Am Cancer asks if they're blind. She's not blind from any genetic thing.
No.
I'm about to get really pissed off again because when she told me this story, it just fucking irritated me. When you were young, you were a baby, right?
6 months old. Yep.
6 months old. Somebody who didn't get their fucking children vaccinated came over to your house, or you went to their house?
I was at my grandmother's house, and it was a neighbor of my grandmother, and she brought her daughter who had the measles.
Yeah. And that ended up blinding her.
Yeah.
So when you hear people, not vaccinating doesn't hurt anybody else. Fuck off. Get your goddamn children vaccinated. I cannot tell you how much your story pissed me off. I went and ranted to Lady Monkey about it for like half an hour.
It's aggravating.
It didn't have to be.
It's very aggravating. No.
But you've adapted, obviously, and you have it sounds like a good life going on. And you got Pinkalo, who has always been great to us. He was one of our earliest adopters of the MSS News thing, sending us so many stories. And love both of you guys for how much you watch us and support us.
I think it's pretty awesome with your kids too, because if there's anybody who can adapt to that type of situation very quickly, it's kids.
Yep.
Because it's they only know so much at that point in time, so they don't have a frame of reference. They're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. So kids are usually very adaptable when it comes to situations like that.
Several people have asked if you were vaccinated. I would imagine so. Yeah.
But I was too young to get the measles vaccine. You have to be a year.
I got a Star Trek question for Blind.
Uh-oh.
Have you watched the technically the fan film Prelude to Axanar?
No, but I've been told to by Polydub. I believe she said something.
It is excellent. It is quite amazing, and it's also a shame that CBS sued those guys to stop them from doing a full-fledged movie. But the 20-minute or whatever little sort of pilot of it is about 1,000 times better than anything CBS or Paramount themselves have produced in the last 10 years. And I'm even including the movies. So
are they also the guys that built the replica of the Enterprise D and got sued for that?
I don't believe so, because the Axanar project, it takes place during the original series, more or less.
Oh, okay.
Or that time period. So if they're involved in that thing, I don't know it off the top of my head.
I have a question.
What's up?
What do you think about ableist scum like Scribe who ask you if you've seen things?
She said she watched Star Trek with her mother, so I assume it's all right to use that terminology, Satsu.
I have actually gotten really mad at people because I've told people, oh, I've seen that movie, and they've actually said to me, no, you haven't. You heard it.
Oh, come on.
And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
That's some
Don't
asshole.
tell me.
No, I just thought I couldn't let that opportunity pass.
Diesel Dave says, are you even getting to my MSS news or no? We're past MSS news, so if we didn't get to it, sorry. We should probably do a catch-up show soon. Because we get so much stuff from you guys.
Yeah.
You're amazing. The original Shroom sent me a message, sent all of us a message on Twitter saying that he lost his internet just as you started gargling.
Oh, that's too bad.
But he said, thank you very much. He'll play it for the parents later. That's cool. For my YouTube stuff, I am working on a video.
You are?
I am. I started it yesterday, and I was going to do work on it today, but it was Lady Monkey's day off, and I feel like I really haven't seen her lately, so I spent the day with her.
Oh.
I will be doing more on that tomorrow, hopefully having it out tomorrow. Guys, we also have a game stream tonight. We will be playing 7 Days to Die on the open server. Anybody who has the game on PC can join us. We will also be giving away a copy of the game. Shit, what's it called?
Shit, that's a great game.
I don't play that game. What's it about?
What the hell? I had it in my mind. I've been preparing for this moment all day, and when it's time to say it out loud,
Monkey
my brain
prepares.
says, fuck you.
Yeah, Monkey comes with a plan.
Sometimes I do. What is it? This one is called Hollow Knight. If you're interested in an opportunity to win that game, all you have to do is watch and enter the little thing when Satsu sets it up. It'll be.
What kind of game is it?
It is a side scroller kind of.
Ain't that made by the same people who made Shovel Knight?
It might be.
Okay.
But you have to have Steam to use the game. But if you want it, come out and try. And then on Saturday, we will be giving away a copy of 7 Days to Die. So check us out on 2 Cents Plus after this stream, if you want a chance to win that. I think that's it for YouTube time. So internet fucketry. Do you guys have any?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't have much. I mean, well, not really anything noteworthy. Most of the stuff I saw, fucketry wise, was stuff that you guys were engaging in because I was getting notifications and I was checking those.
Did anyone watch Ghost Poo and see all the Google deletions in chat?
Yeah, we're having quite a bit of that going on in our chat right now too. Well, Jean-Pierre's having a lot of it going on. He was over on Ghost Poo testing it out there too. And I think he's just testing it out here. Yeah. Today was pronoun day. I had a little fun with that. I tweeted out, if you actually play the pronoun game, my pronoun, which is just for you people, is the guy with the dick I can't stop wanting to suck.
My pronoun is a source familiar with the matter.
There was a guy who got rather upset about me saying that. He told me it's not a pronoun, and then several people fucked with him, and he called us. What did he call us? It wasn't degenerates. Shit, where'd that go? Disgusting pigs. Fucking disgusting pigs. I'm like, that's not my pronoun.
That's rude.
I'd be like, pig self. Thank you.
Where is that article? Oh, you know what? Before we get to that, let's do a good one, shall we? I want to find the place. I forgot exactly where it happened. I got to get the article to open. Open, fucker. There we go. This was in Clearwater, Florida. It was a lucky day for some Florida police officers who recovered a stolen van filled with Krispy Kreme donuts.
All right, it's all
right. The owner of the shop that the van was stolen from donated all of the donuts in that van to the police.
Aww.
The police kept a couple of them and then gave the rest to the homeless.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And good on them. Both the owner for donating him to the police, and then the police for donating to the homeless. That's fucking awesome. Okay, here's the story. It's depressing to me. This comes from National Review, and it's titled "Rage is the Machine." Feminists churn out best-selling "Burn It Down" advice.
Oh no!
Don't ever let them talk you out of being mad again. That's the final line of feminist writer Rebecca Tracier's splashy new book, "Good and Mad: The Revolutionary Power of Women's Anger."
Oh, I think I passed on doing a video about like a toxic Google about that lady in her book.
Yeah, basically,
like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, the book is basically about how women should be mad all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, guys, bad advice. That's a nice way to have a heart attack.
That's a lot of energy.
You think? You're a woman. Are you mad all the time?
Fuck that. I don't have the time.
There you go. Well,
Fuck being mad. Fuck that
I'm
shit.
only mad when something like really makes me mad, and then I rant about it, and then I'm okay.
That's my thing. I get it out of my system, and then I move on with my life. Nancy Pelosi was quoted in roll call today as saying the following. This is about the border wall. We can't allow him, meaning Donald Trump, to say we're not interested in protecting the border. This isn't the only way to protect the border. In fact, it's probably the worst way to protect the border.
Okay.
Building a wall is the worst way to keep people out of places.
All right. Well, what is the best way? What's their alternative solution?
Well, tell her to stop locking her door because I keep trying to get in. Apparently.
Well, my question was whether or not she keeps all of her shit on her lawn.
Yeah, there you go too.
No, she's got 2 front doors.
Oh, oh, call back.
Yeah, she thinks we just need more border patrol. More border patrol. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean more of the people who, for some reason, keep getting in trouble for raping and sexually?
Yeah, didn't we just have that story?
We
like
need more of
500
those.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a serial killer who was a border patrol guard that was just
Yeah.
arrested?
He was, I forget what his name was, but yeah. But that doesn't describe all border patrol agents.
No, of course
The wall would definitely.
Hashtag not all.
Yeah, hashtag not all, but
I think they could be onto something. If you just let all of the people in Mexico and South know that one of our border patrol agents is a serial killer.
Jesus.
And just let him keep going. Maybe they'll stop. Stop.
I mean, letting them know that more likely than not, you and your children will be separated from each other during the course of your stay here hasn't deterred them because we have a whole caravan of 4,000 people coming. So
This is true.
that's actually a part of their strategy to get in now.
Yeah, it could be.
From that fucking thing.
Yeah. So why don't we just try the wall? That's all I'm saying. Give it a try. Well, what's the work? That's what I don't get about it. The wall won't work. Okay.
who does the wall hurt?
Try it.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of you that say walls don't work live in gated communities.
Whoa.
That's kind of weird to me.
You know what?
Yeah. So,
I want to be having a conversation with one of them people, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I agree. They should take the fences from around roller coasters. Yeah, they need to do that because that's just stupid. That doesn't keep people out, clearly.
Oh, what else do we have?
So they can tell me how fucking ridiculous I sound. And I was like, oh, you think that sounds stupid?
There's a Wall Street Journal thing that came out today, or within the last couple of days. It's a report on Facebook. And apparently Facebook has been lying to advertisers.
What? Facebook lying?
Shocked.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah, they overestimated the average time spent watching videos on their platform by between 60 and 80%.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's a bit much.
On
And-
Earth.
And they knew it. They knew it was wrong, and they kept using it and didn't tell the advertisers it was wrong. And I see people complaining on Twitter about that. And like, you know, this isn't the place to complain. You need to contact the SEC because that would be their domain, because it is a publicly traded company. They have a responsibility to report correctly. So yeah, if that's true, Facebook could be in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. Now the truth is, I don't have a lot of fucketry today, because most of what I saw was just, you know, weird stuff. We did see that CNN had a wonderful headline today. Excuse me, sorry, I had trouble swallowing there. ABC says The Conners premiered to 10.5 million viewers, making it TV's #1 series debut this season.
Oh my God.
But it was also
people wanted to see how much it would suck, and now they're not going to watch it anymore.
well, it was also apparently #4 for the night. So
How does that work?
Well, they're the #1 debut of the season, or TV debut. So they're the #1 new series, but that's just because most new series have sucked and haven't gotten very much stuff. So while they were #1 in that category, overall for the night, they didn't do so well. So I actually think, and they did expect to have higher numbers, because this is the episode where they killed off Roseanne. The real story is going to be next week and the week beyond. But I like how CNN chose to use that as their thing rather than The Conners rates #4 in the night.
Well, the thing that disturbed me more about the Conners than anything else is just how drawn and worn out John Goodman looks.
Yeah, that dude looks like a fossil, man.
He doesn't look. I mean, I understand he's lost a lot of weight, and sometimes that happens. You just have like an extra skin and stuff. But all the same, it doesn't look healthy. It doesn't look like he's a happy man anymore.
No, it looked like they brought him back from the dead to get him to play in this. Like he was.
Well,
dead
they technically did, since they killed off his
did.
character. Yeah, they killed off his character in the original series. So,
he's come a long way since Revenge of the Nerds.
I'm thinking more of like a King Ralph.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds was a lot older than King Ralph.
I know, but I just when I think of John Goodman movies, I think of King Ralph for some reason.
The Dark Wolf, thank you so much. Gotta go stop by to toss money at my favorite monkey. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful night. A long way from the Big Lebowski, says yeah, that's even closer to now. That's all the real fucketry I have tonight.
I wanted to mention the so I seem to be doing this every night now, bringing up something about Fallout 76. Bethesda put out a tweet today that attempted to explain to people how it is that the Brotherhood of Steel, an organization that originated in California, was somehow present in West Virginia at around just a few years after it was initiated on the other side of the country.
Right.
They have retconned that the Californian group, the Brotherhood of Steel, got control of a still functioning satellite and broadcast some kind of message or communication to Appalachia to start a chapter there that has never been mentioned before in any of the other lore, but there you go. And I was kind of like,
why didn't they just invent a new?
Exactly. I mean, you've got an entirely different coast. You've got an entirely separate timeline from everything else on this West Coast. I mean, come up with some kind of faction or things that existed then but didn't survive until the point where the Fallout games actually exist. You have such an interesting landscape to work from, and yet you're lazy enough to just rehash the old stuff and then have to shoehorn it in to the lore. Come up with something unique. I mean, they came up with unique bad guys for 76. They even did come up with some unique factions that are all dead already, but the Brotherhood of Steel, really? You couldn't come up with, like, maybe something that has a similar value system, but just isn't that, or maybe they got absorbed into the Brotherhood of Steel when they came to the East Coast later or something. But anyway, it's just stupid.
I think it would have been cool if they did have some group that kind of had the same ideals. And as you go on, you read logs about them kind of hearing about it, you know what I mean? Or kind of talking about it and saying, like, I hear that there's a much bigger effort with people who are in somewhere else. And we want to make that we want to see if we can team
but they
up or
didn't.
something.
They could have had so much fun with the inventiveness here. Real quick, thank you, Flair Fritz. When I see John Goodman, all I see is Fred Flintstone.
Oh, God.
That goddamn movie.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind usually for me.
No wonder you don't watch movies if you've seen that.
Unfortunately, I
don't have anything other than asking Blind about how she lives her life. You do coffee streams. What's a coffee stream?
Coffee stream is every day. I do it at 10 o'clock Eastern for about an hour, usually an hour and 20 minutes. And I just basically read news that either I find or that people find for me, because they send it to #BlindPressReads. And I get, and I read, well, I say I read it. My screen reader reads it. I've slowed it down so that people can understand it, because I usually have it really fast. So I have my screen reader read the news articles, and then I react to them. I usually, before I start the news, I usually talk about something like that I've either read on Twitter, or, you know, something that happened on YouTube, or, you know, something that happened in my personal life, or something that I've, like, something, maybe somebody said something silly to me that when I was crossing the street, like, you know, oh, you're braver than Superman to leave your house. It's like, okay, I'm just trying to catch the bus. Why am I braver than Superman? I'm just trying to catch the bus.
Well, were you wearing a MAGA hat? Because I hear that makes people into Superman.
No, I was not.
Okay.
I was not wearing a MAGA hat. No.
That is hilarious. Like, you know, Superman has superpowers. He doesn't need to be brave.
Yeah.
He's practically invincible. It's like bravery.
Do you ever fuck with them and tell them that you have like sonic powers like Daredevil?
I have, yeah.
See, I would do that all the time. Do you have a Daredevil outfit?
No.
You should get one. I think Pinkala would like it. Especially if it's the one from the Daredevil movie, that horrible piece of crap. But that outfit they had, not Matt Damon. What's his name?
Matt Damon. Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Thank you. That was the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad, very bad. Do you have super smell and super hearing and all that?
I wouldn't say it's super. I would say it's just more. I have to use it more. It's just supplemented my vision. The really cool thing about that is that there's actually been studies done that show that blind people's like sense of touch and whatever actually keeps the visual cortex active. So when I'm reading Braille, or when I'm touching something or interacting with an object or whatever, my visual cortex is still active.
Pinkala says no, she can wear the Electra one though.
There you go.
I'll wear the Electra one, yeah.
And Gregor Hirsch, thank you so much. Blind, you're braver than any U.S. Marine.
Oh.
That's a callback to Riley, guys. Don't be mad at him.
Yeah.
I wonder if the whole, increased senses here and there stuff is because you guys don't have to use your eyes.
Probably.
It's one less sense you have to worry about, so you can concentrate on the others more. Because like me, I can't concentrate on shit. If there's a shiny, I'm distracted as a motherfucker.
Pinkala's the same way. I'll be talking to him and he'll just be like, "Oh, look at that." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? We're talking.
Can you tell us bad stories about Pinkala? Just kidding. I don't want to know bad stories about him because now we had a discussion the other day. Because in movies they always show blind people touching people's faces to know what they look like and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you don't really do that. And I was curious how you find a mate when visual isn't a part of it at all. And you said his voice.
Yes.
And I believe the other part you said is not being an asshole. I'm paraphrasing. That's not how she said it.
Yeah, you gotta have a good personality, and you gotta have a voice that doesn't make me want to rip my brain out through my ears.
And by the way, I was able to hear Pinkala. He actually has a nice voice.
He does have a nice voice.
If you two weren't married, I might make a play for him. So like you couldn't like hook up with a Gilbert Gottfried?
I'd just be laughing.
Sorry, I was just distracted again. I have a box of Snickerdoodle cookies sitting on my desk, and I've already ate. How many of these have I fucking ate? Remember, guys, I'm a diabetic. I've only ate 3 of the 10, and I'm wondering how many more I can get away with tonight. I'm sorry to concentrate on your blindness, but to me, I get the thing where they say, you know, you're braver than Superman. Because to me,
what are you doing, dude?
Was that him?
Yes.
What the fuck?
That's not actually how he sounds.
No,
guys.
it's not.
I get the brave thing though, because for us, I mean, we fall down and get hurt all the time, and we can see what's around us. So to think of somebody going out, like Scribe walks in, he was just talking at the beginning of the show about he was almost hit by a car again.
Yeah, it's true.
I got hit by a car in 2012.
Jesus. Wow.
I hope you're okay, Scribe.
Oh, I've only been actually hit by a car the one time. I've come close to being hit by a car on more occasions than I can count at this point.
God damn.
Yeah.
Now, in how many of those occasions, seriously, Scribe, would you have actually been hit if you were blind?
If I've been blind?
Yeah.
Oh,
today, definitely.
85% of them. Because almost every time I'm having to pay attention for both me and the driver that almost hit me. Because if I hadn't been, especially with electric cars where they don't make any fucking noise.
I hate those things.
I would have been creamed on redonkulous number of occasions at this point.
Yeah, so to me, the stuff that I've heard about you, I can't remember if it was you or your friend. No, you said you actually shoot, right?
I do. I have. I've shot my grandpa's 22. My dad helped me aim. And I think my pop can is still up on the target shelf because we were shooting at pop cans. And I hit it. So we put it up on the shelf with everyone else's. I was I think I was 9 at the time. And then Pinkala's got an air pistol that we bring up to the cottage pretty much every time we go. And when he's shooting, and I come down to stand with him, he's like, "Hey, you wanna shoot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he helps me aim, but then it's me shooting.
In that case, I think the people giving you a gun are really brave. But yeah, that to me is awesome that you can do things like that. Because again, do you know how many times before I ever had my back hurt or anything, I trip or cut myself because I walk too close to something. It's just amazing to me that you can do all that stuff. And I don't mean to kiss your ass. I really do find it amazing. I do.
Monkey,
I don't mind talking.
Did you see that kid, the one blind kid that he actually he plays video games or whatever, like she does based on sound or whatever, but he doesn't have a stick or anything. Like he actually, like the doctor said, he actually uses about as close to what can be classified as echolocation.
Oh, is he the clicking kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that kid, yeah.
Just like,
yeah, I don't do that. I do if I don't have my cane with me and I'm in a place I know, but I'm just making sure that I'm near something, I'll like snap my fingers or something like that. Just to make sure that, like, because our cottage doesn't have plumbing, so we have to go to the outhouse when we go to the bathroom.
Did you learn to snap your fingers from Little John?
No.
And did you do it all by yourself?
So if I don't have my cane with me, like if I've forgotten it at home, or if I just can't find it and I'm in a hurry, it's a straight shot from the back door of the cottage to the outhouse. But just in case, sometimes if I get off track a little bit, I'll just snap my fingers and I'll hear it bounce off whatever's around me, and I'll be, oh, okay, I need to go over here.
That is fucking amazing. I couldn't do that. I would be lost. I would end up in the neighbor's property. Real quick, thank you, Diesel Dave. Now you know what it's like to be a trucker, Scribe.
Almost being hit every day?
Yeah.
If you say so. But I mean, at least you've got like a shell of steel and fiberglass around you. I got nada.
He's got his umbrella if it's raining. That's it.
Yeah, that is about it.
Guys, it is your time. I almost said it was YouTube time. God damn. It is your time. Questions, comments, concerns. We have a guest here, so feel free to ask her questions. She's very open about all of this, which is awesome of you too, because I'm a very curious person. You can ask Satsu. Sometimes I ask him serious questions about being black, and it's not because it's not a racist thing. It's because I'm not black, and I wonder.
He's a well-intentioned white, guys.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to be an ally.
Look, I do my best to help ignorant white folks as much as I can.
And I appreciate it because I am ignorant white folks.
I'm doing my best to be a better person, Satsu. Please help me.
Okay. Do you get offended by I see what you're saying? Blind?
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Kara asked, what do you think of roasted grapes? What the fuck? Who's cooking grapes?
No, yeah, who the hell does that? Don't do that.
First of all, any person that has ever uttered the words "I see what you're saying" is a fucking liar.
I say that
they have a what's that disorder? Synesthesia.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yep. Where you can hear colors and see sounds and things. Yeah.
Okay. Questions are coming fast, and I gotta scroll up just a little bit so I don't miss some. Favorite Halloween candy, guys?
Not candy corn. That stuff's evil.
Candy corn's good. I'm gonna eat a snickerdoodle.
I just like candy, man. It ain't really particular to
like Candyman. That's a great movie.
Chocolate, anything chocolate.
For me, it would be probably miniature Snickers. Even though I hate them because you have to open so many.
Take fives, baby.
Let's see. Scribe, thoughts on the new Call of Cthulhu game coming out?
I watched a bit of the no commentary demo play that the developers put out today, and well, the animation is like PS2, maybe PS3 territory, so I was a little but I appreciate the fact that it's very atmospheric. They're definitely leaning on the whole detective mystery problem-solving thing. I just don't know how much of an audience there will be for that kind of game. Well, I appreciate it. It doesn't look like a role-playing game. So I worry for its success in so much as it's a very niche product. But I'm glad that they're making the attempt on it.
Jack Gunsky asks, Blind Press, any good stories about blind identity politics?
Sorry, what? Can you repeat the question? I was getting my screen reader to do something.
Any good stories about blind identity politics?
Oh, God. Not identity politics per se, but there's a lot of infighting in the blind community. Blind people can be some of the like most nasty.
You guys hate on each other.
Like,
Wow.
we really do.
The peanut gallery has something to say.
You guys are evil to each other, I swear.
Both in Carlos saying we're evil to each other, and there are some blind people that are just like any group of people, right? There are
Yeah.
some really nasty ones.
I've met a few. I worked in retail for quite some time.
And you find them a lot on Twitter, actually. Just like any group of people, you find
Shitty people on Twitter? I don't believe you.
I did have my piano teacher was blind from birth. And she was very much one of those, I'm blind, and although you may not have ever met a blind person before, you should automatically know how to interact with me.
I am.
And how dare you not know how to interact with me? But I'm not going to teach you how to, or instruct you. I'm just going to get angry with you. And I find that doesn't help.
Did you look at her and go, bitch, I'm blind too? Well, probably not look at her.
That reminds me of it's not my responsibility to commit the emotional labor of educating you on the struggles of, insert your marginalized group here. Go educate yourself and be a good ally that way. And that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Considering time to go interact with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering every bit of info we have on 76, do y'all think it'll be worth it day one? I still have hope for it, yeah.
Day one, there's going to be problems with any AAA game, and especially what effectively is an MMO, because they're going to be doing tweaks to the balancing. There's going to be bugs that they don't even have any idea about yet. So
a lot of
it'll be a work in progress.
A lot of it will depend on how successful the beta is.
And especially the short ramp up time they have between the beta and the release.
Yeah, they should have given that at least 2 months.
Yeah, I mean they already kind of did have a beta, the stress test. What we're going to be participating in, the beta, is kind of more a publicity stunt, it seems to me, than an actual test of the system. So who knows?
That'll be the real stress test, actually. Blind, you use a program to read chat so you know what people are saying.
Yes, I have. So I use Apple products because you don't have to purchase a $1,500 piece of screen reader software to make the computer work for you, which is what you have to do with Windows, which now, thankfully, there is a free screen reader that was crowdfunded called NVDA, Non-Visual Desktop Access, and it's a Windows program, and it's fairly good. But before that, you had to pay $1,500 for something called JAWS for Windows, and it was a third-party program.
So I've been told that when you're listening to a stream, you're also listening to chat. Is that right?
Yep, I've got my screen reader on my phone, and usually I'm listening to streams on my phone. So I've got YouTube going, and then I've got chat open. So my screen reader will go, it'll talk. So when the screen reader talks, YouTube volume is a little bit lowered, but you can still hear what's being said on stream. But when I stream, I've got my Mac open, and I've got Hangouts open. So my Mac has the screen reader as well, and it's called VoiceOver. That's Apple's version, and they wrote it themselves to go with their OS. So it's basically you get the computer out of the box, and you turn it on, you can get VoiceOver set up, and then you can use the computer. So yes, Macs and stuff are a bit more expensive, but it's worth it because buying a PC plus the software is still more than buying a Mac. So
yeah,
I have a hilarious VoiceOver story.
Oh God.
So I sold this old lady an iPhone who, as they all say, know nothing about technology. And I sold her this phone, and I helped her set it up, and she took it home. Very perplexed, but she took it home. And 3 days later, she came back to my store. She walked up to me. She put her phone in my face and said, "Could you please shut this fucking thing up?" And I was just like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "It won't shut the fuck up." I don't know what I did to this phone, but it keeps talking to me. And I don't want my phone to talk to me. Please shut it up. So I'm like, what did you do? And then I found out that she turned that on, and it took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to turn it off because I didn't even know.
Yeah. She
just,
probably triple clicked the home button by accident and turned it on.
She was so mad.
The Red Hawk is trying to make me say weird words. Blind Press, have you seen the Toichi series, aka The Blind Swordsman?
No, I've heard of The Blind Swordsman.
Have you watched the actual Daredevil TV show?
No, but I want to because it's got described video, so I can watch it by myself.
Yeah, a lot of people, when it first came out, it didn't have that, and they were like, hey, wait a second. A show about a blind superhero, you don't have like closed captioning or nothing, and I'm like, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gregory Hurst asks, have you guys seen my tweet about SJWs being offended by nuke weapons in Fallout 76? I have not, but
I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to read it.
I'm not surprised.
Pyrus asks,
oh, sorry, what was that?
I was just, they'd be offended by anything.
Yeah. Pyrus asks, Blind Press, what is your opinion on trans-abled people, like the one woman that poured bleach into her eyes to become blind?
Oh, that lady.
I did a stream on that bitch.
Yeah, good word there. She's a dumb cunt.
If you, sometimes if I'm really bored, I do a stream just called the Night Stream. And if you go back in my catalog, there's a stream called The Cringe Fest Continues, and I cover that story along with finishing a video that I was listening to in the first part of that series called Time for Some Cringe by Shane Dawson, who decided he was going to see what it was like to be blind for an hour, and he acted like a complete jackass. So I covered that story, and it made me so angry because there was a psychologist that was like an actual psychologist that was willing to help this woman.
Yes.
Right.
After 2 weeks of seeing her only.
Yeah.
And then there was a psychiatrist on the video that I was watching from this woman, or from this woman's story, who was saying that, yes, there should actually be treatments for people who feel this way. And I'm like, yes, it's called fucking medication.
Throw them in a rubber room.
Well, it's like those people that like feel like I actually should be only having one leg or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that's a mental disorder. It's basically body dysmorphia after a fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, that might be actually the name of it. And yeah, it's a mental disorder. It's not something you're supposed to indulge and actually like fulfill that person's fantasies for them. That'd be like abuse, I think.
Fucking Jason Voorhees is in earshot, like, huh? What was that?
Jonathan Peterson says, I like LaForge too. Other than him, who do you like?
I love Data. And
when he died, I was pissed.
I cried. I can't watch Nemesis.
Well, you're not the only one. Most of the movie-going audience decided that too.
But I mean, it was a bad movie, but I also can't watch it because I can't watch Data die. That's just no.
He's not really dead. He'll come back.
He blew up.
Yeah, he downloaded somewhere. They had another head of his. He's out there somewhere.
Jean-Pierre is asking if I'll go to Nigeria because he's trying to get around the censor.
Yes.
Blind Press, what's your favorite music genre?
I am a big rock and metal person. I like the classic stuff. I like AC/DC. I like old GNR.
Oh, there you go.
I like Stone Temple Pilots. I like Metallica from before 1991. The Black Album was the last good album, I think. I like Iron Maiden. I like Rage Against the Machine. I like
Alice in Chains.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Baby metal.
but I also like Pantera, Slayer.
Wow.
I'm all over the
Slayer!
place.
You like Beavis and Butthead by any chance?
I did watch Beavis and Butthead, yes.
My favorite one of those, I think, I don't remember who they were watching, but Beavis, or no, Butthead, which the blonde is Beavis, right?
Yes.
That dude's really pissed off, and Butthead looks at him and goes, his dad must have kicked his ass. Let's see. Blind Press, do you think any blind people have ever tongue buttered the turtle cave?
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Do you think they knew that's what they were doing at the time?
Yes.
Does being blind screw with your sleeping pattern?
Yes. A lot of blind people have insomnia issues, or they, like me, I sometimes go from not being able to sleep to it'll be the middle of the day and I cannot stay awake. It really fucking sucks.
I feel you.
It's just it all blindness also unfortunately comes with a lot of people suffer from depression because of a chemical imbalance, because they don't get all the vitamin D that they need from the sun.
Oh, right.
So even if you're taking vitamin D supplements, sometimes you just like I'm probably going to be stuck on antidepressants for the foreseeable future, unfortunately, just because my serotonin levels are off. But the only thing that helps me sleep is pot. I can't take sleep aid. Like I can't take sleeping pills. They work for a night and then they stop working.
Oh, you must be happy as hell with the law that just passed.
Well, I don't know what I don't know how they're gonna get, like, nobody knows where to buy it. And you can't advertise, right? Because it's gonna be like under the same laws as tobacco. You can't advertise, like, come buy weed here.
I'll find a way. They will find a way.
Yeah, you guys need Snoop Dogg to open a chain of stores. Everybody will know what to buy there.
Yep.
Let's see. Where's that next one? Did you remember to tell people about the 7 days stream and how we're going to have a horde tonight? I didn't mention the horde, but it is going to be a horde night, guys. If you play the game on PC, you can join us. Information's in the Discord servers, and I think Nuts posted it down below here too. I'm still up a ways, guys, because you guys have asked so many questions. I'm trying to get them all. Seal, she already answered about the chat reader. She does have a program for that. Blind Press, Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, or Archer?
Ooh, I will give you my list in order of favorite. I will give you Picard first.
Yes.
Then, unfortunately, people aren't going to be happy with me. I like.
Don't say Janeway.
I like.
Don't say Janeway.
I'm sorry. I like Janeway. But you know what? I'm gonna have to put Kirk before Janeway, so it's gonna go Picard, Kirk, Janeway, Cisco, Archer.
I would use your same order, except for Janeway would go at the end. People of Sight. What?
Although I have to put a caveat. As I watch Deep Space Nine more, I like Cisco more.
Yeah, Cisco's good. Cisco gets really interesting in the later seasons. It becomes much more morally ambiguous. But of course, Deep Space Nine was meant to sort of be a more morally ambiguous interpretation of the Star Trek universe. So yeah.
I have a donation here. Hang on. Thank you, Dork. Y'all should send your questions through Streamlabs. I quite agree. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, Pincalo points out that you're 19 away from 200 subs. Actually, you're 17 away. So, guys, head over to Blind Press's channel and sub. I really enjoy your streams. I do. And Lady Monkey watches them as well.
Aw.
We were talking about that on our drive to the Stowe today because she took me out. I was so happy.
Oh,
I took Squishy out today.
I've heard.
She wants to take you out in one way or the other.
Faithless asks, Blind, how many conversations can you track at the same time?
I'm actually pretty good. I can listen to, I used to really flabbergast people because I would listen to an audiobook and I would read a totally different book in Braille while listening to the audiobook. And sometimes I would have, back when MSN was a thing, I would have my computer open and I would be talking to people while reading my book and listening to my other book. And like my mother would come in and be like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Ramen he really likes candy corn. I'm with you, dude.
But
What else do we have here? Did you see the movie Blind Fury?
oh yeah, that's actually a really good movie.
I haven't actually. I've seen.
Rutger Hauer.
I tried watching the movie Blindness or whatever, the one where everyone goes blind because of that
Mark
virus.
Ruffalo. Yeah, it's kind
And
of
it pissed me off so
Yeah.
badly. I had to stop watching it halfway through.
yeah, it's kind of it was based on a book, and it was a quasi post-apocalyptic sort of movie.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a really weird watch.
Guys, if you are asking questions, I am getting to them. I'm still going in order, so I'm still scrolled quite a ways up. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. Several people have asked, do you think cereal is soup?
No, sorry.
Hey,
She's wrong, guys. That's what blindness will do to you. She's blind to the truth.
Oh, do you think if you masturbate hard enough, you'll gain your sight back?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting. I don't
Because
know.
I've heard the reverse is true. I didn't know if it would like have sort of a loop effect.
It would be hard because my eyes are acrylic, so
Oh, okay.
I
never
don't
mind.
think so.
Never mind.
Scribe just went monkey.
A little
Oh
bit.
my God. What do you think of? What about those who want to have cybernetic limbs? Then is that a form of body dysmorphia?
If you've lost your limbs in a accident or by birth defect or something, as an aid to living a better life,
No, I would say not.
yeah, I would say no. But I mean, if you want to just chop off your arm so you can have a robotic arm, I'd say the same theory applies. You need to like get therapy first.
Well, hold on, it depends because
Yeah, I'm with you.
if you are saying that you want to do that because you feel you were supposed to be that way, like this is how it's supposed to be, then I think then maybe you can say that those are pretty close. But if you're just like, I want to be stronger and fucking, like, yeah.
I think it depends on your reasoning for doing it.
Yeah,
If it's like,
it
this
does.
doesn't feel like my arm, I need a different one. That's different than I would just really like to have a robotic arm.
Yeah.
I think you should still probably get psychiatric help first, just to be sure you know what you're getting into.
Yes.
Right.
Grizilla asks, oh, that's a good question. Do you think people, and this is to you, Blind, do you think people who have sensory problems, blind, hard of hearing, being deaf, empathize with others with sensory problems? Like, do you empathize very well with like deaf people, or is it just totally different to you?
I empathize with deaf people myself. I know that there are a lot of deaf people that are very like if another deaf person wants cochlear implants, they generally get shunned, unfortunately, from the deaf community.
Yeah.
And it is hard, obviously, to talk to deaf people, especially if they don't lip read. You don't have, like, it's really funny because I have a buddy that I go visit all the time, and he went to a school for the deaf and blind, so he knows sign language. So, and he's got a lot of deaf friends that come by, so it's really funny when his deaf friends come by, because they'll say something to me in sign language, and then he'll be like, they said this, and then I'll be like, and then I'll respond verbally, and then, like, it's a big chain. It's kind of, it's an interesting thing to be a part of.
Grizilla said, just subscribe to your channel, Blind Press. You had me with Star Trek and the music you listen to.
Oh, well, thank you.
Seriously, her Star Trek knowledge will blow your fucking mind. Stargazer, thank you so much. She pointed out the Discord for both me and Satsu, which has the information on how to join us to play, as well as the link to 2 Cents Plus, which you can just go and watch. Don't forget, we're giving away Hollow Knight tonight. So, and it's not going to be like an end of the stream kind of thing. We just have to make sure that the people who are in there have enough points to do a, what's it called? Drawing.
Drawing.
Okay,
Raffle?
this just keeps jumping to the bottom. Yeah, basically it's a raffle, but it's you don't have to buy tickets. It's chimp change that you get just from watching the show. What the hell? It jumped on me. Fuck you, YouTube. Blind, would you get cybernetic eyes if you could?
That's a hard one because there's a big right now there's a big mortality issue because the brain just can't handle it right now. Like we don't really know how to hook things back up to. Like I still have my optic nerves; they're still intact. When the surgeons removed my right eye and my retina from my left eye, they kept the optic nerves intact for, just in case one day neurosurgery progresses to the point where they're able to, well, first of all, they have to be able to grow new eyes and then to be able to hook them back up. There was a bionic eye program in Australia, but you still needed to have retinas for it. And unfortunately, there was a huge death toll. It was like 75% mortality rate.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'd rather be blind.
What caused the deaths? I don't understand. Like,
it might have been too much, like, I guess, like signal overload.
Okay.
Like, because if I were to ever go get my sight back, like, I would probably have to be in darkness for several months, probably acclimatizing back to, and it's pretty complex surgery, right? You're dealing with the brain.
Yeah.
And who knows what the brain will do, because those are bionic eyes that they were working with, right? So it's electronics and...
Okay, if you could get a visor and it was safe, would you get one?
Oh, fuck yeah. If I could have Geordie vision, if I could look at somebody and know that they were lying because their body heat jumped up, that would be awesome.
How often did they actually have him use that ability? Because I don't remember him doing
quite a lot. He didn't do it often, but he did it enough that, like...
Pincalo, how would you feel about her having the ability to read your body heat to tell if you were lying?
Well, he's always hot, so...
Oh my!
But he can't lie to save his life.
You can't lie to a blind woman, man.
No, he just can't lie. He just can't.
Guys, don't forget to go check out Blind Press's channel. And Pincalo, will you throw that link in the chat again? It's down below also, guys, but I know some of you are lazier than I am. So if we could throw that back in chat. Let's see. I know I missed some of your guys' questions because fucking chat jumped and I fucking hate YouTube sometimes. Oh God, yes. That was a pain in the ass. Oh, but from it we got the new censorship program. So yay. I'm scrolling back up, guys. I'm trying.
Scrolling. What?
Jean Chardias answered the better captain. Blind Press, have you heard of Dream Evil? They are a hell of a power metal band.
No, I have not. I'll check them out.
Opinions on Opeth.
What?
Opeth. It's Opeth. I don't know what that is.
No idea.
And so Grizz asks, Merciful Fate or King Diamond? I don't know what that is either. All right, good. We had that discussion.
Yeah, good talk.
How many people felt the need to lie to the engineer? Well, it wasn't that they were lying to him. It was that he was in the room when they were answering questions or stuff.
Yeah. Or when he got stuck on the planet with the Romulan, and the Romulan's trying to tell him he's not sick, he's not whatever, and Geordi's like, yeah, you are. You're fucking lying to me. You're weak as hell.
Apparently, Opeth is a metal band.
Check that out too.
Pinkala or Blind Press is 5 away from 200, guys. 5 away. So if you're not subscribed, go over there and do it now. Get her to 200 before the night's over. What time we got? Oh, it's oh shit! It's the end of the hour.
Yeah.
Blind, thank you so much for coming on here, and especially for entertaining my questions. I know I tend to ask what society considers to be inappropriate questions, but you answer everything, and that's really awesome about you.
Well, thanks for having me. It was lots of fun.
Chat, thank you guys so much for the donations. Don't forget to go check out Blind Press's channel. It's in the chat there. It's also linked below. And especially if you are a Star Trek geek, or if you just like listening to interesting people talk, she has very good streams over there. Satsu?
Yes.
Scribbles? A pleasure as always. Everybody, don't forget to come watch us on 2 Cents Plus. We'll be playing 7 Days to Die with anybody who wants to join. Again, Blind Press, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, your life makes us sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.